It's time to raise the roof for our latest spring training episode, and we have a special episode for you guys today. We have yet another player interview, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully, you guys are excited about it too. And without further ado, let's introduce our guest. He is a 2023 draft pick from the Tampa Bay Rays, 2023 national champion with LSU, former teammate of current Rays, one. I don't know where Trey is in the system, but he's like a top three prospect. But Tre Morgan, former teammate of his, as well as 2025 NL Cy Young Award winner Paul Skenes. And I know that Gary, you two are pretty good friends, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
still talk decent
yeah,
amount.
yeah. Cool vibes there. But yeah. So Garrett Edwards, Rays pitching prospect, was in High A Bowling Green last season. Is joining us on the podcast. Garrett, how you doing? Welcome to the pod.
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, of course. So, the first thing I wanted to ask was when it comes to because the spring training is already or it's not underway. Games are going to be underway this week. The Rays' first full team workout is going to be tomorrow. You told me before the pod that you've been down in Port Charlotte for about 2 weeks. So can you tell me like how has it been like so far? What are the biggest things that you've been doing that? Because I think you said it was some sort of like early pitching camp that you were invited to.
Yeah, they bring some pitchers in and position players first week of February. So I've been down here for 2 weeks now, and it's in a way they really put it down as like you're still in the off season technically. So it's just kind of throwing two bullpens a week with the pitching coaches and coordinators and stuff just to get in front of their face a little bit. And yeah, I mean, we're just throwing pins Tuesday, Friday, one group, and Wednesday, Saturday, another group until we start throwing live at bats in the next week and a half. And spring training obviously starts in a week, so we'll be rolling after that.
Yeah. So with that, is that similar to what your off-season workout routine has been, or is this ramped up from where you were at, from what you were doing previous to getting down to Florida?
Yeah, so my off season, I was kind of ahead. I don't like playing catch up when I get down here, and so for me, the last 2 years being healthy and coming into spring training healthy, it's been more of I'm throwing way more pitches before I get here than what they have us throwing. So when I get here, it slows down a lot for me, but I feel ready, and that's kind of how I like doing it. Like I said, some guys are different. Some guys the Rays like us ramping up pretty late, so we're healthy at the end of the year and we can pitch in the postseason and all that, and which is good as well. And like I said, some guys when they get here maybe aren't quite ready, but we throw probably, I mean, it's two bullpens a week for a month, and you're off the mound whenever you want doing dry work and stuff. So it doesn't take long to get ready for some of those other guys. But yeah, for me, I like overdoing it until I get here, and then kind of using these 2 to 3 weeks in pitchers camp as a deload week in a way, because we're throwing 20 to 30 pitches in our bullpens, and I was throwing 40 to 50 two-ups before I got here. So yeah.
Mm. So with that, now are you working out back home in Louisiana, or was there another place that you were working out in the off-season before coming down to Florida?
So I train at the University of Georgia actually
Oh,
from
okay, cool.
yeah, Wes Johnson's the head coach there now, and he was my pitching coach in 2023 at LSU. So I kind of followed him to Georgia, work out there, and the guy that programs me for the last 3 years, he's there as well now. So, and my wife is from there, so it all worked
Okay.
out really, really well. So, yeah, they got a really good setup. Just put many, many million into their facility. Got a nice weight room, pitching lab, new field, whole 9 yards. So it's really cool.
Is it weird that you being an LSU guy, you're now training at Georgia, or is it like does that not matter because, as you said, your pitching coach, your former pitching coach at LSU is now the, over at Georgia?
Yeah, I mean, when you're in college, like Jay, like I know Jay and stuff, obviously, but as a pitcher, we're more under Wes. So he, in a way, is like the guy we see every day. So for me, it's not really weird because like Wes is who I'm comfortable with, and he knows me the best in that sense of what I need to do to get better. And someone asked me that today, actually, at the field. Now that college baseball started up, they're like, "Oh, do you pull for LSU or Georgia?" Or if they were playing each other, I'm like, "No, LSU," but like I pull for Georgia too. I like seeing Wes do good.
That's cool. So on the LSU thing, because as you mentioned, college baseball just started up. We had our first weekend of games. I know D2's been going on and D3's been going on for a bit now, but um, On that, you and Trey both got drafted in the same draft class. How close were you while you were at LSU, and has that relationship, like, have you guys still maintained, like, do you guys still talk a lot? Are you guys still friends? Like, are you going to be, I'm sure you're probably going to try to seek him out or whatever it is when you're down in Portugal, but like, what's that relationship been like with Trey?
Yeah, we had a pretty tight-knit group at LSU, and obviously being there for 3 years together, we got to know each other really well.
Mhm.
And we see each other at the field every day. So yeah, we say what's up to each other. He's a cool guy. I'm pulling for him, and yeah, he's been doing really well since he's been with the Rays and since we got drafted. I mean, even in college, obviously, he had a really good career at LSU for those 3 years. But no, he gets after it, and I'm excited to see what kind of year he has this year coming up. Hopefully, he can debut.
Mm. Yeah, is it wild to see the amount of talent that came out of that 23 team? Because everyone's going to talk about Paul, but there's so many other guys outside of him that are on that team that either got drafted that year or came in the years after that point that have been drafted and all of that. I mean, it seems like the amount of talent there, not just in the senior class, but all around was insane.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's a testament too to that team we had that year. I mean, like I said before, we were all so tight knit. We had a really good group, and there was no jealousy in the locker room. Everyone was pulling for everyone to do well. And I mean, that pitching staff we had that year was loaded. So we all just kind of pushed each other to get better every day. And when you have a group like that, it's really easy to come into the field every day and want to get after it, and even having conversations with them in the dugout and stuff. Just helping each other get better in every aspect, off the field, on the field. Like, doesn't matter, just talking ball all the time. And yeah, it showed. I mean, I think we had 13 guys drafted that year, or maybe a little more. But yeah, it's been no surprise to me because everyone gets after it.
Mm. Now, was Cade on that team as well, and he was an underclassman, or did he transfer in before he got drafted last year?
Anderson,
Yeah.
yeah, he was not on that team. I
Okay.
left. I think he came the year after I left. So his
Got
first
it.
year,
Okay.
24. Yeah. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I know. There's a couple guys because I know you're included, Paul, Gavin Dugas, who came through my area during stuff with the Nats. And then Trey, of course. I mean, it's insane. Like the amount of talent on that team is nuts. It's for you, like how much college baseball are you watching now that the season's starting? Like, have you always been a big college guy and you've been watching it, or how is it like for you getting ready for the season and then also knowing that your boys back in Baton Rouge are starting up?
Yeah, it's cool. I still watch it when I can.
Mm.
These first few weeks I mean, they should handle business. I watch more so when conference play starts. If there's a game and I'm chilling, because it's like their games and season start at the same time as ours when we get sent out to an affiliate and stuff like that. So it's a little difficult to watch, but I try to watch when I can. And I feel like I'm getting old now because I think there's only like 2 to 3 guys on the team still that were there while I was at LSU
Oh
that I
wow.
played with. So, but no, it's been cool to see how successful they've been, and Jay's done a really good job since he's gotten there, and I think they're going to win several more with him there, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's fun to watch those guys compete every weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure. So having been down in SEC country and experiencing SEC baseball, I don't know what stadiums that you've been to outside of Alex Box, but the like, have you gotten it? Like, did you ever play at the Dude? Did you ever play at Baum Walker? Yeah, of course, Alex Box is in there, but like, how are those environments like compared to what you've seen so far in the minors? Like how much different is a college baseball environment compared to what a regular minor league baseball environment would be for those that haven't experienced the two?
I mean, I kind of got a warning because my high school coach, J.C. Holt, played at LSU, and he would tell me he was like the third round draft pick to the Braves, and he was in the
Mm.
minors for several years, and he was like, dude, you go from playing in front of 12, 15,000 at LSU to 100, 200 people in the stands at minor league games. So I didn't really know what to expect, but then getting into it, I went to Charleston my first year for the last month, and we actually drew a good crowd there. Like we had, 3 to 4 thousand people there, so the atmosphere was good. And Bowling Green, it kind of went down a little bit. But I mean, I would say more than anything, it's like it prepares you for that, in a
Mm.
way, until you get to the big leagues. Because I feel like you don't play in front of a big crowd like that until maybe some AAA affiliates probably draw a decent amount. But obviously, in the big leagues, you're playing in front of many more than that. But Yeah, that's the biggest thing I feel like is, you know, making it to Omaha. Although I had Tommy John and stuff and didn't pitch, but just being in the dugout and seeing the atmosphere and, closing out some big games at LSU in front of 15,000, like there's no feeling like it. When you go out and get the job done and competing in front of those people, it's really cool.
Yeah, so where did you get a chance to go to or see on the road outside of Baton Rouge?
Um, we went to Tennessee for Super Regionals my freshman year.
Okay.
Played at Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Arkansas. My favorite place to play on the road was Ole Miss, actually.
Ooh,
I
interesting.
thought that place was cool. Yeah, it was sick. Um, yeah, they partially probably because that was COVID year, my freshman year, and they were like the only place we had went to that allowed full capacity. So it was rocking. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah, well,
Um,
I'm sure. I mean, I've been there before, and I know the student section out in the outfield. They all throw the beers after the homers and all that stuff. So I'm sure it was rocking. I experienced a couple of places, but I know. I mean, I never got a chance to get out to Arkansas or LSU for a game. I didn't even get a chance to go to like Alabama for a game. But I know all the environments there are nuts. I'm sure it's an incredible advantage on your end, as you just talked about, to get ready for what the big leagues are because there's not a lot of other places that are like that. I mean, you know, I know that there's been great crowds at USF games in recent years, and other teams in Florida and things like that, but it just seems like the SEC, especially for baseball, is such a different animal crowd size alone compared to any of these other places.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Even the competition you're facing night in and night out. I mean, it gets you ready for professional baseball. I'd say it's for sure the best conference to play in that develops you and gets you ready for that next step in your baseball career.
Yeah. Going over to then getting drafted and being with the Rays, was there a team that you were hoping to maybe get drafted by, or a team when you went through interviews or whatever it was, where you were like, oh, this team kind of stands out to me? Or was it more of just like you were happy wherever you went, and then when you found out it was the Rays, you had X reaction, whatever it is, and went from there?
Yeah, I mean, in the draft process, I didn't really have any team that stuck out to me on where I wanted to go. Um, because like being from Louisiana, we don't have a professional sports team there. So
Yeah.
it's like besides, I guess, the New Orleans Saints and the football route, but we're such just everyone in Louisiana is such diehard LSU fans that it was like coming out of high school, I wanted to play baseball at LSU. And after that, it was kind of like, all right, wherever I end up, I end up. And I'm thankful that I'm with the Rays now, though, because like I can remember as a kid, my grandparents live in Wesley Chapel, just north of Tampa.
Okay.
So we actually like had been to the Trop before when I was a kid, back when Evan Longoria played and stuff like that. So the Rays draft me was really cool. I'm glad they did.
Yeah, did you have any initial impressions of the Trop? Because it seems like I just posted a thing on social media of Trey, I guess, visiting before FanFest and all that stuff over the weekend, and it seems like a lot of people don't understand how the whole panel, new panel things work. But did you have any impressions? Like, do you remember at all going to games and your impressions of the stadium and all that stuff?
Yeah, I always thought it was cool. Being a dome, it's different and it's really hot in Florida, so I'm kind of glad there is a dome. But no, I always thought the stadium was really cool. It's different and yeah, I like. Hopefully, I saw the mock-up of the new stadium they're looking to build, so that one looks really, really sick. So we'll see, but I'm just glad they got it back fixed and we'll be able to play in it again.
Yeah, for sure. Have you or any of the other minor league guys like had conversations about like what could come for this team, new stadium, and all that stuff? Like, have those sort of things come up in conversation at all, even while you've been down in spring training, or is that more of like a player by player type thing?
Yeah, I feel like more player by player.
Got it.
Just glad to be um, not playing a full season. On the road so much like we did last year, not having a home field because I mean having a home field makes a big difference. Um, so I'm just glad we'll be back there this year.
Yeah, and I mean, for someone that I don't, I would assume he grew up a Saints fan, right? Being in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Yeah, so having that whole situation with Hurricane Katrina literally moving the Saints to LSU, you've already experienced that in your own fandom. So, of course, Rays fans are experiencing the same thing. Uh, so going back to the minors, you being in Bowling Green last season, You were primarily a starter. You pitched like you threw over 100 innings. You mentioned coming back from Tommy John and all that. Is this was 25 your first full season healthy in a couple of years from all that, or like how did that go, and just how did you feel overall with the hot rods?
Yeah, that was my full season. First full season healthy, and that's the most innings I've ever thrown in my life.
Oh wow,
Um,
okay.
so yeah, I think the my freshman year at LSU, I was healthy the whole year and threw around 40 innings, I think, out of the
Mm,
bullpen. But going into that year, starting every game, I really liked it, just staying in that routine. I'm a big routine guy, so doing the same thing every week helped a lot. And the Rays were really good with like, hey, maybe your arm's not feeling great this week. Don't push it. We can push you back a day. We just want you to stay healthy and just pitch. That was the biggest focus for me this year. I just hadn't pitched in so long, and getting those game reps and being healthy every year makes a big difference in development. So that was primarily my main focus. Just like I said, staying healthy the whole year, staying on top of that, how the arm feels, how the body's feeling, and just rolling from there. And I mean, I made it through the full year. Didn't pitch in the playoffs last year.
mm,
My shoulder flared up on me a little bit towards the end of the year, but taking the time off when the off season started, it kind of wiggled its way out. But yeah, I mean, I was happy with how last year went.
mm.
As far as throwing over 100 innings, I wanted to get to over 100 innings and hopefully build off that this year. Get to 130 this year. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So with that, so what was like the most amount of innings that you had thrown in a season prior to last year? If you know offhand.
Probably high school, 50 to 60.
Okay. Yeah, so what was that like? Like, did you feel any like arm fatigue or anything like that? Or like how was it like adjusting to just a bigger workload overall as a pitcher? Or was that something that you were looking forward to and then it was like, okay, now it's here. Now I can actually experience it and try to get through it?
Yeah, I think that's mainly what the off season's for.
Got it.
Get your body ready for season, and you're working out really, really hard during the off season. You're conditioning really, really hard. So the season, in a way, is a little easier for you, and easier on your body because I mean it's a lot of traveling. Sometimes the food's not great when we're on the road. There's not
Mm,
great options. So when it comes to all that stuff and taking all that into account, you just have to control what you can control about all that. And I think, getting over 100 innings, it was weird in a way because I'm like, dang, I'm healthy. I'm making every start I'm supposed to make. So it was kind of a weird feeling for a little bit, but
mm,
I was grateful that I did, and grateful that I stayed healthy the whole year. But like I said, it's a good year to build off of, and now the expectations for next season are way higher.
mm. Yeah, so you mentioned like 130 is kind of your goal. Is there anything else that looking back at last season and what you did, is there anything else that you're trying to hone in on or you've been trying to hone in on in the off season to make sure that you're prepared for that in 26?
Yeah, I wanted to gain a little weight.
Okay.
I pitched around 205, 210 last year, so I'm up to 220 right now. Just wanted to get stronger,
Mm,
and obviously getting the body stronger, getting the legs stronger helps out the arm a little bit. And like I said, I had that little shoulder flare up last year for the last month of season. I just didn't really feel strong like I should have. But like I said, you learn. That's my first full season coming off Tommy John and
mm,
the most innings I'd ever thrown before. So it's like learning from that year and learning how to train, how to adjust the off-season training a little bit going into this year, and just finding little things we can stay on top of from a supplement standpoint too and everything. Um, yeah, I mean, this year I expect to throw 130 and stay healthy. Body's in a good spot right now. So I'm excited for what this year has to bring.
mm. Was there anything in your arsenal that you were trying to tweak? Like, I don't know what I saw, I mean, I was trying to find anything about like your max velo and all that stuff. And I think I found like your prep baseball page and it said that you had a four pitch mix back in high school. So I don't know how much that's changed being a pitcher. Obviously, we're talking high school and now you're, 2 years into your minor league career. But, like what were you working on anything in the off season in terms of your arsenal and upping your velo, whatever it might be?
Really, I felt like if I could gain, 8 to 10 pounds, the velo would go up.
Okay.
Junior year of college, when I threw my hardest, this is how much I weighed. So I'm like, I want to get back to that number. I felt
Yeah.
really good during that. So like, let's get back to that. And we did. So I would expect to see an uptick in velocity this year. Um, and for me, I've been a fastball slider changeup guy for my last 2 to 3 years. So continue to stay there. And I manipulate the slider a little bit, throw some harder, throw some bigger, depending on the count. But On behind secondary to gaining weight and getting stronger, I'd say the other focus this offseason was just two strike execution.
Mhm.
I don't really have a problem getting ahead in the counts, but
Yeah.
it's putting hitters away. And obviously, as you go up levels, we face some better hitters, and you have to be a little more fine on your two strike execution. So that was a big goal for me. But that's more of like, bullpens and stuff,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
working on locating and all that.
Yeah, so like when you talk about the two strike execution, do you have like a main pitch that you go after with that, like a wipeout slider or change up curveball, whatever it might be, or like do you try to mix it up so that you have multiple pitches that you could go to that you feel confident at when you get ahead of a hitter in a count?
Yeah, I mean, mainly for me, just keeping the slider on the plate, getting it
Okay.
below the zone, strike the ball, and the fastball up at the top of the zone with two strikes. But yeah, too, obviously, depending the hitter, or maybe watching some games. We play 6 games a week, so I'm watching the other guys pitch, and I'm watching to see how hitters do against this pitch, against this guy, and learning from that. But yeah, primarily just the fastball up and the slider down is the big one for me. Um, and worked on a little bit of a new changeup grip this offseason. Get some more depth on that pitch and start using that as a two-strike pitch as well, just to keep the hitters on their feet a little bit more.
Where are you topping out at right now on your fastball?
I mean, in bullpens, we've been kind of keeping the intensity light. I haven't faced live hitters yet, so who knows? I've never been a guy that likes the radar gun up in bullpen. I just need the hitter in the box in the game environment, and then we'll see what I have. But no, I've been low to mid 90s in my bullpen, so I'm in a good
Okay.
spot.
Where were you at last season?
Low 90s, 89, 92 in my bullpen. In
Okay.
game, I think I was up to 96 last year, but
Okay.
probably pitched 92, 94 up to 95.
Okay,
Yeah.
so once the game situation comes, then the adrenaline kicks in, and then
Yeah, it normally adds anywhere from 2 to 5 miles per hour, depending on the person.
okay, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So on that, talking about Bowling Green last season, was there any guys that you played with, that either played with you most of the season or played with you for a little bit and then got promoted? Any guys that stood out on either side of the ball? Because I'm sure that you saw a bunch of guys come through.
Yeah. I think Noah Myers got promoted. It was really fun watching him swing it last year. He was really, really disciplined at the plate and, took his walks when he had them and didn't swing and miss too much. So that's good. And then obviously, I think the only starting pitcher we had promoted was TJ Nichols.
Okay.
Yeah, he threw it really well last year, so it was fun to watch him compete every week. Um, and yeah, I think other than that, just a few bullpen arms up and down. But we pretty much had the same team the whole season last year. Got to know a lot of those guys really well.
Mm.
Drew Dowd, Marcus Johnson, Gary Gilhill, got closer to those guys, and we had a good group there. So we made everybody better. Talking amongst yourselves, like I said, similar to the college feel we had my junior year, where it's like everyone was pulling for everyone.
Hmm.
We're learning from each other, and we're watching each other throw our sides during the week and pulling for each other in the game. And the season's really long in professional baseball, so I think it's important to have guys around you like that who genuinely want you to succeed. Whereas you don't feel as much as that, like, oh, I'm competing against you. I hope you do bad, because like
Yeah.
you can't think that way. And we didn't have anybody that did last year, so that
Yeah.
was fun to be a part of.
Yeah, was there any place in the South Atlantic League that was like a fun road trip for you, or like a fun place that y'all went
Um,
to?
The Red Sox high affiliate was really cool. The Green Monster and left. Where else was pretty cool? I feel like there's one more place I'm missing. The Red Sox, I think, was my favorite field overall and favorite facility. That place was really cool to play at. Um, and then I'm not sure. That's the one that sticks out to me the most right now.
Gotcha, gotcha. Is there any expectations for where you're going to be this year? Because I mean, again, you threw 100 innings, so you have that under you, and you had success with that. Like, are you expecting to be in Montgomery to start the season out, or like, are you not trying to worry about that? You're just trying to worry about getting ready for 26.
Yeah, I've just been getting ready for 26.
Got
It's
it.
like that part of it is a little out of our control in a way.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna be the most prepared every week when I get on the mound, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna go out there and compete and do all the stuff in the middle of the process. And wherever I end up, I end up. I'm gonna go out there and compete and give it my all. That's all I've known to do my whole life. So, yeah, we'll see. I'll be ready for anything.
Yeah. Any guys in spring camp right now that you're kind of talking with? Maybe not guys that were in Bowling Green, but potentially guys on the major league side or anything like that. Guys that you've been talking to at all so far?
Yeah, and I mean the big league guys are kind of they're coming in the mornings right now. We're in the evenings, so you don't run into them as much.
Okay.
But no, just seeing those guys get after it every day, it's been pretty cool. I think that you know they're suited to have a pretty good year this year. Hopefully, McClanahan can get back healthy and can help the rotation out a little bit. Got a lot of new trade guys, so it's going to be interesting to see how their season turns out this year. But no, I think they'll be in a good spot. They'll be rolling.
Yeah. I got two more things for you. One of them is something that I touched upon at the start of the podcast, which is, you playing with Paul Skenes and watching him pitch and being, I think where you were there for both years that he was there, no?
He was there for 1 year, my junior year.
1 year, that's what it was. Yeah, because he transferred over from Air Force. And then you've stayed in touch with him. You've remained friends. Past LSU. How is it? What was it like getting to know him in college? And watching him pitch there, and B, what's it been like? Staying friends with him and watching his journey as he's gone through the minors and now the big leagues.
Yeah, it's been cool. He works hard, does everything the right way, plays the game the right way, and prepares the right way. And I think that's what a lot of people miss is, like I said earlier, the process of just showing up every day. It's a really long season, and doing the same thing every day gets boring. But, staying on top of that and continuing to do it when most guys don't. Um, that separates you from a lot. And I think that's what he's really good at is he's the most prepared and he's going to work the hardest. And that fuels everybody around him to want to get better and to want to work hard. And hopefully, that was the culture at LSU. And I think, even seeing the Pirates this year, bringing in some more guys and getting to know some of the younger guys. And I trained with Bubba Chandler a lot this offseason at
Mm,
Georgia. And I think that culture of the Pirates is starting to shift a little bit because of him. So, when your best player works the hardest and does everything the right way, that inspires everyone else to do the same. And I think he's just been a really good leader to everyone. And, off the field too, great guy. And yeah, it's been fun to watch him and his journey. And I mean, he's going to keep on doing it. So it's going to
mm.
be cool to see.
Yeah, and they just got Beal in the offseason too, so they added a bunch of pop in that lineup, which is big. The last thing I have for you before you wrap things up is excitement level for this year because you get again you had a lot of success last season. We hopefully you're going to continue to have that same success in 26, but like right now be experiencing everything, being down in Port Charlotte, being with the guys. Like how psyched are you? How hype are you to get the season started in like a month or so?
Yeah, I'm ready to roll, man. I mean, I've been preparing the whole off season for this, and I think everything happens for a reason. Tommy John and my journey and a little bit of adversity has prepared me for now, and I'm ready to get after it. I mean, the big leagues aren't far away, and obviously that's my goal to get up there and stay up there and make an impact with the Rays. So I'm just going to keep on doing everything I can to get there and just show up and be the same person every day, be a good teammate, and just work hard. So that's all you can do. Control the controllables and, kind of let the game take care of itself. Get out there and compete. Trust your training.
Perfect. All right, well, Garrett, thank you so much for coming on, man. We really appreciate it. And I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to plug your socials, everything that you got going on. Where can people find you at and track your journey as you're going through the minors here with the race?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I don't really post much, but yeah, you can follow me. Yeah, I get on it here and there, but I'm not a huge social media guy. But yeah, just yeah.
Perfect. All right, well, hey, Garrett, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it, man. Best of luck in 26.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.